You all are once again warmly welcome to Pasan Vijayawardana Economics Zone. Okay, so we are in the lesson of population. Now, next part of the lesson is age structure of population. Okay, so let's move to the age structure of population. So the lesson part is age structure of population. Right. Cool. So this is the third video that I am publishing under the part of population. Right. Okay. So according to Sri Lankan context, age structure of population is consistent with three main parts. Number one, okay, child population. Child population. Okay, according to Sri Lankan context, if a person is in between 0 and 15 years of age, in between 0 and 15 years of age, then that person can be recognized as a child. This is not any other perspective. This is the perception of economics in Sri Lanka. Clear? Right. Okay. So child population is the population belong to the age category of 0 and 15. Clear? Right. The other one is working age population. Working age population. Generally youth majority and middle age majority are belonging to this category. In Sinhala we called working age population as වැඩ කරන වයසේ ජනගහනය. ඒ කියන්නේ වැඩ කරන කට්ටියම නෙවෙයි වැඩ කරන වයසේ ඉන්නවනම් those people are belonging to the category of working age population. So working age population means people in between, okay, so people 15 or above. Generally we call 15 or above. But this above limit, for this above word above don't have any limit. Okay, so that is 15 or above. 15 or above years. Then that is known as a working age population. Even though Sri Lanka defined working age population as people who belong to 15 years and above, okay, there was no any limit for above, but when defining the next category, all the population, okay, they have mentioned all population as 60 and above. 60 and above, 60 years and above. Here also 15 years and above, right? So that means this mentioned all population is belonging to the age category of 60 years and above. Okay, so this is 60 now. Even though Sri Lanka do not mention any limit for this above part, okay, with this 60 we can identify or we can recognize that the limit of this above term should be 60. Okay, therefore people who belong into the age category of 15 and 59, okay, so can be recognized as the working age population. But in normal economic definitions, the working age population is people who are belonging to the age category age category of 15 and above are considered as the working age population. There's no any well-defined limitation for this above, but generally we can say this maximum age limit of the working age population should be 59. So everybody who are belonging to the category of 15 and 59 are considering as the working age population. Am I clear for everyone? Well, okay, so there are three age structures in Sri Lanka: child population, working age population, and old population or adult population. Clear? Super. Right. Now, based on this one, I'm going to discuss something about okay, the age structure transition. Age structure transition. Transition. Age structure transition. Guys, what do you mean by transition? Transition means moving from one stage to another stage, no? Right? So you are a school student right now. If you promoted to the university student level, then that is a transition. That means moving from one stage to another stage. Simply, no? Now you guys are girls right now. So if you transited to the mother stage, okay, then that is a transition, no? So transition means moving from one stage to another stage, right? Now this is age structure transition, right? That means when we analyze the world history, we have three stages in which different kinds of transitions were taken place with regard to age structure. So the first stage is, we call it as first stage. During this first stage, okay, what has happened? Okay, infant mortality rate. Okay, infant mortality rate have decreased in the first stage. Okay, infant mortality rate decreased. Infant mortality rate means we have already calculated mortality rate lastly. How did we calculate mortality rate? Okay, yes, that's divided by media population multiplied by 1000. If you want to calculate infant mortality rate, that is a specific part of mortality rate. So what should you do? Don't take just death. Okay, take infant deaths. Infant deaths divided by media population multiplied by 100. That will be the infant mortality rate. Okay, do you know the current infant mortality rate of Sri Lanka? In 2018, infant mortality rate was 8.5 per each 1,000 persons. That was the infant mortality rate in 2018. That is an extra knowledge. Okay, not relevant for this stage. Right. Okay, however, the first stage, what has happened? Infant mortality rate reduced and fertility rate, that means birth rate, increased. So that means the death rate of the infants reduced and birth rate of the babies increased. So as a result of that, what has happened in the first stage? Child population increased. Okay, is it good for a country? Yes, in one hand it is good, in other hand it is not good. Why? If a child population in a country increase, government have to invest more on education. Government have to invest more on infant-related health care activities. No, not only that, government have to pay big attention on pregnant mothers, and we have to facilitate pregnant mothers as well. Then we will not able to take the contribution of the pregnant mothers for Sri Lankan working activities as well. That means even though pregnant mothers belong to the working age population, because of the pregnancy, during the pregnancy period, we will not able to take the contribution of the pregnant mothers to the economy. So increase of the child population is not good. Clear? But if we don't have big amount of children in the society, then we cannot ensure the future of the country, no? Because future of the country will take by the children. So if we have very small amount of children in the country, then who will take care about the future of the country? That means if we don't have a big child population, then that will be a riskier situation for future. We have both positive and negative parts of increase of child population. This is the thing what has happened in the first stage of transition period. Right. Second stage. These are important stages in the world history regarding the age structure. During this period, what has happened? This child population who were included in the first stage entered to what? Entered to what population? Youth population, no? all the children in the first stage became youth members in the second stage. So with that, what has happened? Okay, increase of youth population. What has happened to the youth population? It increased. Increase of youth population have create a benefit for the country. Increase of what? Working age population. Increase of working age population. My dear students, with the rise of the working age population, okay, can we develop the country? Yes, of course. If we increase the working age population, we can take more and more contribution of these people to the country's economy. Then we can increase the investments, we can increase the employment level of the country, we can increase the savings of the country. Okay, from the word itself, if we increase the working age population of the country, definitely we can accelerate the economic growth. So this is extremely good. Right. In the third stage of the age structure transition, this is the third stage or last stage of the age structure transition. What has happened? Yes, in this stage, this working age population, that means youth and middle-aged people, entered what? Old population category. This set of the people became older and older. So during this period, what has happened? Okay, death rate reduced. Death rate reduced means people are not dying frequently. Because of that, what has happened to the old population? Old population increase. Old population increase. So death rate go down. Death rate go down. And during this period, what has happened to the population? All population increase. All population increase. Okay, increase of all population is not good. Because why? If people reach to the retirement age, we can't give job opportunities for them, no? So we can't provide any job facilities for them. What we have to do, we government have to pay pensions or retirement payments for all people belonging to the old population. Not only that, we have to establish some other schemes to facilitate these kinds of old people as well. That means these are dependents in the economy. So if all population increase, it is an extra burden for the country's government. So having high old population is not that much good. Right. So having high child population have both positive and negative points. Okay. Having high working age population definitely accelerate the economy, and having all population, high amount of all population is an extra burden for the country's economy. Right. This is the age structure transition. Okay. We'll join with the next video in which we are going to discuss from the point of population, age